what I've concluded from analysis is that there are going to be a converging of social factors nationally and internationally that's going to place blacks in a permanent status of underclassship. And one, we anticipate by that point in time, based on all the research that's coming to us, that the next generation of whites are going to be more anti-black than they've been since the civil rights movement. Two, we anticipate by the same token about 86 million Hispanics coming into the United States and about 41 million Asians by that point in time, which is going to kick black folk out of being the minority in the society down to a minority. We've been number 2 in the society for 400 years as a group. We're going to become number 4. And if we have not gotten anything after being number 2 for 400 years, you guess what's going to happen when we become number 4. Because at that point in time, all the new groups coming into America, they're coming in higher than we are, because this country operates off of a preferential acceptance program, which means that groups are coming in based on skin color, going from the lightest down to the darkest.
I love when the black community says, let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners, the laundromats. Let's get rid of the liquor stores as well. Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear, the Nikes you wear, the shower caps, the Hondas, the Hyundais, all your car electricians, the electronics in your house, the Sony, the TV system, your sound system, the microphones that you guys use to rap and speak about awareness for the black culture and the hip-hop culture. Where do you think that's made in? That's made all in Asia. And here's another thing for you guys. You guys want us to leave the neighborhood so bad? Oh, Asian people are in our neighborhoods? We're in white neighborhoods. We have our own Chinatown. We have our own Koreatown. You think we really need you guys to benefit off and make money? A lot of us do go to college as well. You're being outworked by immigrants who barely speak English. And you're not embarrassed? Go to the bank, start your own businesses, and deal with your own people. I want to see your own women get on their hands and knees and do pedicures and manicures and deal with nasty-ass attitudes, okay? Please, boycott Asian business. I'm all for it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we were warned. We were warned. And listen, we watched the Democratic Party go all out for these immigrants, to bring them in, to say that a Democratic strategy was to bring them in so we can get our numbers up, so that way we can get things passed in Congress. There will be a minority coalition and we'll all work together. Those black Democrats knew that these people did not mess with us. We are not unified. We don't have friends. There's racism within the communities all over. It runs rampant within the Hispanic community. It runs rampant within the Asian community, the Indian community, the Arab community. All of them are anti-black American. And we were warned this. We were warned this to the point where Asians are even calling out their own communities about it.
All I'm saying is that if you are Asian, before you should even be asking the question about who gets to decide who gets to boycott Asian-owned businesses, we need to be having the conversations in our own spaces about whether or not anti-black racism needs to be addressed, and have those uncomfortable conversations within our communities. Because I have been doing this for years, right? Have you been doing that before you decided to come online and post a video being like, oh, black Americans are such hypocrites, which they are not. They have a right. Like, they have an absolute right, because we do have rampant anti-black racism. And before we are willing, like, we need to be willing to take accountability for that before we get to decide whether or not anybody should be boycotted. Also, it's not even our decision who gets to boycott. Our role, right? And everybody has different roles under systemic oppression, and something happens, is what can I do in solidarity instead of looking at this situation as an us versus them problem? If you're still looking at it from the lens of an us versus them problem, then you are on Rick Chow's side. And I know that people can say like, oh, well, you know what, like I have such a diverse spectrum of ideas and I see things differently. But when it comes to systemic oppression in a world that is made to be black and white, then if you are going to look at this boycotting situation as, oh, you shouldn't boycott us, why should we have to pay for the sins of this one guy? Like, that's not like the systemic playbook, right? Like,
as an Asian person, bro, we gotta admit that there is anti-blackness in our community, bro. And it's clearly showing, right? With how all these Asians are responding to the 14-year-old boy named Cyrus that got killed by Ricky Chow over a water bottle. Mind you, he didn't even steal that, right? But like, Asian people, they're only speaking on it, right, when the internet's talking about boycott Asian businesses. If you don't feel welcomed in a business, you shouldn't support them. You should boycott them. That's just how it works. So you can't get mad at black people boycotting Asian businesses if that's what they want to do, right? And it's so crazy to see that they're only speaking about this topic, not to give condolences, not to pay respects, and not to ask for justice for Cyrus, but just because it's harming so-and-so Asian businesses. You guys are ridiculous, bro. I hope that kid is, resting in peace in heaven and all that, and condolences to his family. And, bro, we need to get Ricky Chow. We need Ricky Chow, bro.
Please be patient with me because there's so much here. I think the quick answer is that Asian Americans are given white privilege, especially the Asian Americans who fit the model minority stereotype. The quid pro quo for receiving that privilege is upholding white supremacy culture, which means being anti-Black. I was talking with somebody last night who was pointing out that the Civil Rights Amendment was passed in 1964. But also in the 1960s, the United States opened the door to Asian immigration. So now you have an influx of racial minorities who knew nothing about the history of white violence against Black people, knew nothing about the Black civil rights movement. So they arrived with civil rights, not understanding how that came to be. And also it effectively erased the United States' own anti-Asian history, because Asian Americans came in not necessarily knowing about the Chinese Exclusion Act or the internment of Japanese Americans in the United States during World War II. And I think that Asian Americans are used as a buffer between the Black community and the white community, because in the 1960s, there was almost a racial reckoning. The white power structure almost had to face accountability for the history of violence against Black people. But instead, Asian Americans were inserted and were pit against each other, so that we're always up against each other, and that basically white supremacy escapes accountability.
You see Asians now coming out, calling out their community for anti-Black racism. Now, y'all see me, I did videos on Hispanics. Hispanics was coming out when ICE was going crazy, right? Pandemonium was running wild in the Hispanic community. ICE was coming through, dropping the elbow, putting them in the figure four leg lock, right? Had them in the sleeper. They was doing they was running the gamut on the Hispanic community. And the Hispanic community was coming out asking us for help and saying, wait a minute, they was calling out the anti-Blackness, right? But now the Asians is calling out the anti-Blackness, right? They're calling it out because of what happened with Cyrus Belton. Cyrus Belton on May 27, 2023, 14-year-old boy was gunned down by Rick Chow, right? We know Rick Chow chased him 150 yards, hit the 14-year-old boy in the back. The boy died from his injuries, right? He sat in jail fighting his case, and then he beat it. And South Carolina is in an uproar right now. They're upset. But the racist Asians came out, and the other Asians is trying to call them out and telling them, hey, stop doing that. You're messing up business, right? You got Black people outside protesting.
Y'all talking with the wrong charge. They said, hold on, no, let me talk, because it's something on my mind. Y'all charging with the wrong charge. He said that instead of first degree, he should have got charged with second degree, right?
There's no degrees of murder in South Carolina. It's straight murder. Right. So they should have allowed us to charge him with just straight murder. Okay? So there's no degrees. So they didn't charge him with the wrong thing. They charged him with murder, which is what he should have been convicted of. Okay? I'm pissed off as much as anybody else because I made the arrest. It is our case. I'm not happy about it. Come on, lad. Come on, lad.
Why wasn't this gas station shut down a long time ago? We charge him.
He sold the gas station. It does not belong to him anymore. It has nothing to do with him.
What about his other businesses, though?
Look. I'm just
and a lot of sorrow, man. That young man had a gun on him. Yes, sure, but not only was he right because he didn't steal the water, he still walked away knowing that he had something that could have protected himself. For him to have the sense to still walk away, that man would have been bright. You know what I'm saying? That man would have been something special about that man. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like something was taken from us as a community.
This baby died. He lost his life, and the verdict itself, hearing that mother cry as a mother with 3 children. I don't understand why there are so many Richland County police deputies out here.
I think the prosecution failed us because they should have added on the lesser charge, and manslaughter should have also been on the table.
Now, even amidst the protests, Black people are upset because they don't have a plan of action. We don't have proper representation to get things done. Now, we know that man chased him out of there and powed that boy in the back. But who's sitting on those seats? Remember, they said that there was like 7 black members of the jury. There was a black lawyer that represented Rick Child. I keep telling y'all that a lot of black people hate their own people more than these other groups do. You've been conditioned to see your people do the same stereotypical lens that the other groups do. And you would do anything to harm black people. You would do anything to get away from blackness. Now, when I say this first, and you hear it, you deny it, but I look at you by your works. That lawyer, he don't have a black wife? Absolutely not. Anything associated with blackness? No. No. It's trauma. It's traumatized. They know this. They want you to abandon because being black hurt, as Tupac told us, right? Right? So now you got Asian women real emboldened in this country. Talk like this.
This is going to be an unpopular opinion, and I'm going to call you out since you must understand. Every single one of you over there boycotting Asian business and spreading more Asian hate, you black people with your black fatigue, okay? And what your people call niggerism. Yeah, not my words. Those are your people words. You people that is living in that black culture mentality, the poor victim mentality, thinking that people still owe you reparation. Yeah, I'm the one talking to you. Every single one of you failing in life, and then you want to blame everybody else. You see this whole Cyrus case and Mr. Chow, none of this would have happened if you raised kids right. Little boy witnessed some of his business trying to water, okay? Now, I might not agree with Mr. Chow chasing and shooting him bug too, okay, wherever it was, but here's the crazy part. If you had discipline, right, he wouldn't be in someone's store trying to 50 cents bottle in the first place, okay? Not only that, you go and attack attorney defending his clients, and then here's the truth of the matter. Your people, there are 7 black jurors who found your kid responsible, making Mr. Chow, okay, not guilty because they understand your culture, your mentality. You failed your kid. Your society failed your kid. Your mentality failed your kid. That niggerism too failed your kid. Now, if you can't reflect on that, and if you can't understand and take accountability for your failure, this will continue. More black kids are gonna, your community is still gonna struggle, and your people continue to be in poverty. No one's gonna give a handout. Stop asking for a handout. Stop thinking you're gonna bank off your death, okay? What you need to do is self-reflect on your people, your culture, your community, and stop blaming everybody else. Let me tell you, boycott the community, they're probably thanking God that your black ass don't went to the store anymore to come.
Now, you have black women that's coming out, and they've been standing strong saying, hey, listen, the bulk of this is going to have to come from sisters not supporting these Asians, right? Us, we can make sure we don't go to their restaurants and stuff like that. You know, maybe their products, you know. Let's just listen to what some of the sisters are saying.
Black people, y'all don't believe shit. When they came up with that saying, a hard head will make a soft ass, it was definitely because of black people. Now, don't get me wrong. I am down for the culture. Listen, call me Sister Soldier. 10 toes down. When a revelation happened, baby, I'm riding shotgun. Pistol locked and loaded, safety off. But some of y'all don't deserve to be saved. I just saw a video come down my timeline with a black girl arguing with the Chinese lady in the nail salon because she let somebody skip, a white woman skip in front of her, and she was still charged like a rush fee or something like that. Nonetheless, why are you even in there? We just had an Asian dude online, like he literally double dared us to boycott them. And y'all still in there. But they never gonna not treat you like second-class citizens. I don't know what made you think that this type of behavior wasn't gonna touch the hem of your garment at some point or another. At this point, I believe y'all suffering from Stockholm Syndrome, because there's no way you are willfully doing this and you don't have some type of disorder. Y'all love this mistreatment, like you can't function without being.
Boycotting Asian businesses isn't the primary way to bring about change. Before you come at me, black people, please listen to the rest of this post. But first, I have to address the Asians. Asians, did you know your fear and hatred of black people isn't your own? You've been brainwashed. Well, more accurately, your great-great-great-granddaddy has been brainwashed. but I'll get into that history lesson. First, current statistics. Did you know most violent crimes committed are by people of the same race? Meaning white on white crime. Hispanic people against Hispanic people, Black people against Black people, Asians against Asians. The only exception to this are Native Americans. They tend to not go around hurting each other. However, Asians, do you know what the most violent group towards you is race-wise outside of yourselves? It's not Black people. Let me give you a moment. It's white people in the form of hate crimes. So why are you so scared and fearful of Black people then? Well, let me tell you, because your granddaddy wanted to come over here and they said, bet, but you have to work. You have to like own your own business. They said, no problem. So they went to the bank and they said, may we get a loan? We want to open up a business in this neighborhood. And the bank said, you're not opening up a business in our white neighborhood, whatever they called Asians at that time. But guess what? We will give you a loan though, but you have to open up in this neighborhood, Black communities. And that is why, to this day, there's so many Asian restaurants, beauty supply stores, nail salons in Black neighborhoods because they gave them loans to open up there. And then the government or power who be said, we are going to call them the model minority because look how hardworking they are. Not only are they hardworking, they own businesses in neighborhoods where lazy, blah, 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 Black people don't have themselves. And you guys brought into it. Well, your great-great-great-granddaddy did. And what they left out was, but we gave you loans to do that where we wouldn't give them to the Black people who live in that neighborhood. And that is why you own businesses when they don't. It's not that they don't want to work. It's not that they didn't want to open up their own shops. It's that they couldn't get the loan to do so, whereas you did. And when you didn't get it from the bank, you went to your own country and got loans as well, which, you know, we were kind of stolen. We don't have that kind of connection back at home anymore. So we were out. So that is how you got to believe you were better than everybody else. Not true. You had a leg up. And that just trickles down. And why is that, matter today? Because your great-great-great-granddaddy believed it, told your great-great-granddaddy, who told your granddaddy, who told Rick Chow, who told Andy, who chased Cyrus out of that convenience store after he stood there and calmly was accused of stealing and told them no 2 times and then just walked out. And Andy chased him, knowing he didn't steal anything, not knowing there was a gun on him, chased him for the length of a football field plus, and then unalived that boy. Child, 14-year-old. All because of what happened when this country was set up. And why is this relevant? Now I'm talking to my Black people again with the Asians and all our allies, because re-education is also needed. If you want to boycott, let's boycott. You see my hair is natural, it's 4C. I don't care. I can braid it myself. I can drive an extra 30 minutes to go get the hair from a Black-owned shop. That is not a problem. However, education is important. And I used this illustration before on another video. In the game of chess, the Black pieces and the white pieces are enemies. But the people moving the pieces, they are generally friends. When we are done destroying each other on this board, they're going to shake hands, congratulate each other, and go over.
I always say, we got to start moving politically, man. Foundational Black Americans, those seats that's being redistricted, we got to go in there and get those seats. We got to have say so. We're not repatriating back to Africa. We got to be in those positions of power because the Asians are getting their numbers up, and the Asians don't like us at all. They want to be honorary W's. So the Hispanics, it's going to get horrible for us. Dr. Claude Anderson warned us.
Protesters outraged about the Rick Chow murder trial not guilty verdict, letting their signs and voices
Justice for Cyrus
be seen and heard. For many, this case has been personal from the very beginning.
We've been involved in the situation from the very beginning, from the day that Cyrus was murdered.
Jerome Bauer is a part of the many protesters who say they believe the verdict represents a failure of the justice system.
We're going to stand in the gap for children who are losing their lives unjustly.
The shock and emotions flooding in after the verdict Monday as the cries of Carmack Belton's family filled the courtroom. Rick Chow's wife also getting emotional as they took the handcuffs off her husband. Meanwhile, a call for change now filling the streets. A memorial for Carmack Belton placed where he was shot, 130 yards from the gas station, now surrounded by flowers and water bottles. Chow and his son suspected Carmack Belton stole a water bottle from their store in 2023, which turned out to be false. So today, instead of a sign, Michelle Fletcher was holding a bottle of water up in the air.
This is what they valued his body at and chasing him for because they thought that he had a bottle of water. And I just feel like his value is so much more than this.
As this protest has grown, so have RCSD deputies patrolling the gas station. They now have gates up to block off the area. An RCSD spokesperson says the new gas station owner decided to close down after yesterday's verdict until further notice.
Now, we spoke with the current owners of that gas station, and they're making it clear that they are not connected to Chow and have owned the property since November of 2023.
They sent a statement reading in part, quote, "We have never had and do not have any relationship, association, or ties whatsoever with the Chow family. We are completely new owners of this property and were not involved in any events that may have occurred prior to our ownership," end quote. You can read the full statement on our website right now at WISTV.com.
So history is showing us that we can boycott all we want. But if we're not moving politically, we're not going to get nothing done in this country. These people come here, they built their communities, they got their economics up. They was able to leave the place that was oppressing them and come into a new place. We're still in the place that's oppressing us. And we're divided on multiple levels, man. A lot of black people are running away from being black, and they're traitors, they're turning on us. We got to figure some things out, man, because it's going to get worse. And Dr. Claude Anderson warned us about this, man. You see the situation, this Cyrus Belton thing. You see the situation with Carmelo Anthony, the Chud, the Builder, and it's only going to get worse. And there's just so much more stuff that's not even national news that's happening all over the country, man. I told y'all we got to start loving each other. We got to start treating each other right. If y'all don't want to do it, this is what's going to come with it. But y'all gotta let me know what y'all think, man. If you made it this far, it got to be other plans of actions than just protests, right? Got to be other plans of actions. I'll say this, if you guys want to protest, remember when the Democrats told you to not go to those SEC schools and don't do it for them. Now do it to take our power back. Do it to take our redistrict so we can put our own people there. We got to come back with a strategy. Shut the Pac-10 down, the SEC down, the NBA down, shut everything down. But it got to be what you willing to sacrifice. What are you willing to lose so we can have a better life? If we ain't willing to sacrifice, ain't nothing going to happen. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.